Supaya hidup penuh berkah, hidup penuh berkah. Dari hati jadi berkah, kini dan nanti bersama Indonesia Syariah, wujudkan sesuai hati.
Tahukah Anda, dengan hidup yang terus berjalan, maka akan banyak hal yang kita lewati. Terkadang kita bisa serasa ada di atas seperti sedang terbang tinggi. Namun, tanpa diketahui pasti, ada kemungkinan kita juga bisa terjatuh. Tentunya, mari bangkit lagi dan atur strategi. Bersama Antam yang tergabung dalam Mining Industry Indonesia Mine ID ini sudah dikenal sebagai produsen logam mulia terkemuka di masyarakat luas. Berdiri sejak tahun 1968, Antam melalui unit bisnis pengolahan dan pemurnian logam mulia telah memberikan akses bagi kita untuk dapat mengenal dan bertransaksi logam mulia dalam bentuk emas batangan, dinar, dirham, maupun produk lainnya. Aksesnya pun mudah, bisa langsung melalui butik emas logam mulia yang salah satunya ada di Gedung Graha Dipta, Jalan Pemuda Nomor 1, Pulau Gadung, Jakarta Timur. Mengapa strategi yang diatur mengarah pada aktivitas yang berkaitan dengan logam mulia atau emas batangan? Menabung atau berinvestasi emas, keuntungannya adalah safe haven, lindung nilai, liquid dan dikuasai sendiri, nilai universal, abadi, resiko sedang, modal awal cukup dengan nilai minimal, ragam bentuk atau varian, portable, dan mudah diakses. Karena diproduksi oleh perusahaan milik negara, anggota grup Mining Industry Indonesia Mine ID bersertifikat dan terakreditasi London Bullion Market Association atau LBMA, sehingga diakui secara internasional dengan kadar kemurnian dan legalitas sumber emas yang dapat dipertanggungjawabkan, memiliki tambang sendiri, pabrik sendiri, variasi pecahan produk dimulai dari 0,5 gram, dan memiliki 15 titik butik emas logam mulia di Indonesia. Dan masih ada beragam produk emas Antam logam mulia lainnya. Emas batangan dengan sertikat, emas batangan batik seri 2, perak murni 99,95%, koin dinar dan dirham, gift series, bezel seri 2, customized product, dan brankas. Ayo kunjungi segera butik emas Antam logam mulia terdekat, juga transaksi secara online hanya di Jadikan harta Anda lebih bernilai untuk masa depan yang lebih sejahtera.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we will begin our lecture shortly, may we invite everyone to kindly take your seats in front of your screens. Thank you. Before we start today's lecture, as a representative committee, I would like to give some information to all of the participants. On behalf of my team, I would like to apologize because I'm afraid today's lecture will be conducted only for the first session of Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi due to the sudden loss of one colleague of Dr. Azim Kidwai from National Zakat Fund, United Kingdom. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Azim Kidwai, already rescheduled his lecture, and the new lecture of the schedule of his lecture will be announced soon to all of the participants. Thank you very much. Now let's begin our agenda. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. First and foremost praise is to Allah, the Almighty, the greatest of all, on whom ultimately we depend for sustenance and guidance. Secondly, may Allah's blessing be upon the Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has been sent to all mankind to improve and perfect the ethical and also moral behaviors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your enthusiasm on this third day of our program. Hopefully, all of you can keep your spirits up until the last day. Please let me introduce myself again. My name is Fadli Muhammad Zulkifli, but usually people call me Ali for short. I'm an IPB University student majoring in Sharia economics, and today I will be your master of ceremony and I will guide you all during the lecture. Please be kind upon me as you will find my mistakes from me. Thank you. Before we start, we would like to inform you all that this activity is sponsored by, the first one is Basnas Republic of Indonesia. Pilihan pertama pembayar zakat, lembaga utama mensejahterakan umat. The next one is PT Prudential Sharia Life Assurance, your best choice of Sharia insurance worldwide. The next one is LAS Al Bunyan, zakat dan donasi Anda mengentaskan kemiskinan. The next one, PT Antam Tbk, logam mulia Antam akurat kadarnya. And the last one as well as BPRS Botani, investasi lebih berkah bersama BPRS Botani. In BPRS Botani, you can have saving account with just 25,000 rupiah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our lecturer for today's agenda has already been here. So please welcome Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi. Assalamualaikum, ma'am. How are you?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Brother Fadli. I'm doing great. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
All right. I'm doing great too. So how was your day in your country, ma'am?
Everything is fine over here. Yeah, and the weather I think is as similar as in Indonesia as well.
The same as Indonesia, right, ma'am? So, ladies and gentlemen, for this session, Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi will share with us about ethic and governance of Islamic financial institutions toward green or blue economy. So, we are very honored, ma'am, to have you with us today. And before we continue, we would like to inform you all, to the participants, that after the lecture is finished, you will be given the opportunity to ask questions to the lecturer. If anyone wants to ask Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi, you can leave your question via the chat room, or you can use the raise hand feature on your screen, and then our host will allow you to ask Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi directly. It can be questions related to what she will deliver today, or questions related to her area of expertise. And also, I hope this information is clear enough for you, to all the participants. Right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's begin our first lecture today. Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi, the time and screen is yours, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother our MC, Brother Fadli Zulkifli. All praises be to Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, who has bestowed upon human being the alignment of knowledge. Praise be to Allah and peace be bestowed upon Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to IPB University and all the sponsorships, and not to forget our sister Yekti Mahanani and Brother Gozi, who in close contact with me, who always assists me when there is need. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well for today's discussion, inshallah. Okay, without further any delay, so my topic for today's discussion is on ethics and governance of Islamic financial institutions to green and blue economics. So as you can see on the screen here, is it clear? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. I can see your screen
All right,
clearly.
very good. Thank you so much, Brother Zufadli. Brother Fadli. Okay, so before we start, I think it's good for me to initiate with the ideas or the concept on the blue and green economics. What are the difference between blue and green economics? I think from the words itself, you already have get some ideas on what blue is, what green is, right? Of course, for green, it's more on the greenery sides, on the lands, but for blue, more on oceans, more on sea, on everything that related to the blue businesses like fisheries, tourism, maritime transportations, and then not only that, but we also have a new emerging activities like we have offshore renewable energy, we have aquaculture, seabed extractive activities, and marine biotechnology and bioprospecting. So what do we talk about when we talk about the blue economics? What's important is that we want to harness marine or ocean economic potential. Okay, we want to harness the potentials, and at the same time, we want to protect these ocean or marine economic activities for the future generations. So that is our target. And then when we talk about the green economics, yes, everyone is talking about what targeting on the net zero carbon nations, right? Everything is targeting on that nowadays. And then, so when we talk about the green economy, we know that we want to sustain the ozone layer. Okay, most importantly, we want to reduce as much as possible the carbon emissions and then or any greenhouses gases. We don't want to deplete our ozone layer. Okay, and then what's important is that we want to enhance the energy and the resource efficiently so that we can, there are so many activities or there are so many plan or strategy that we can do to help in achieving this zero net carbon emissions later on, inshallah. Okay, so but before we want to talk about the green economy or we want to talk about the blue economies, so there are things that burdening us. Okay, first and foremost, we need to understand that there shouldn't be any man-made destructions. Okay, for instance, if I have to ask you, what do you think that are the biggest environmental challenges facing the world today? Because we are talking about the green economy. We want to talk about the blue economy. We must first understand how we can achieve to target ourselves to be the best nations in protecting the green economy or the blue economy. So before doing that, we need first to identify what are among the challenges. And of course, one of the challenges is the environmental challenges, right? And I believe that most of you, if I ask you what are the biggest environmental challenges that we're having or we are facing today in the world, most of you can easily say that, oh, it's about the global warming, or it's about the flood nowadays that we are having, or because of the thick haze, or maybe because of the energy wastage. So these are the significant environmental challenges that we are facing today, right? And then we talk about the pollution. Of course, we have the air pollutions. So these air pollutions will further or eventually harms our health and then damage the atmosphere. And then, of course, this will lead to climate change. And for instance, I think that if you look at the many cities in the world, they are, having this poor air quality because of the pollutions that come because we are the one who created it actually, but we sometimes we don't realize it. All right. Anyway, if you look at the photo, sorry, for the photo here, you can see these are some of the examples, right? So what can you see in the screen? You can see like flood, for instance, flood. So floods not only happen in Malaysia, I believe that in Indonesia as well, in other countries as well. And then this among the most regular natural disasters that affecting the country. Okay, because for instance, in Malaysia, we have monsoons. I believe they're in your country as well, right? So, and every year we will facing this monsoon season. And then it takes place like if monsoon season, it takes place November to March. And then but some places in Malaysia, we already give cautions for those who want to do those who want to go to any oceans or any islands, we restrict them to do any activities at any islands or oceans starting by the ends of October, sometimes in the midst of October, because of the monsoon, because we cannot predict, sometimes it come early than it's supposed. Then so but most of the experts, they are saying when we talk about the flood or this is because of the overdevelopment, or maybe because of the deforestation. Okay, and then so these are the one that could create this flood. And but we need to understand that what's important is that we want to harmonize between economic development as well as safe environment, right? We want these two, but this is like a tone between two levels. Why I say this is because some factories that we're having, because we want to create jobs, we want to create job opportunities, we want to open up job opportunities for these people, right? But at the same time, these are the things that could cause air pollutions or water pollutions in the area, in the specific area. What we want is that we want both. We want people to get their jobs. We want people to be sufficient enough. I mean, like to be financial freedoms. They have the financial freedoms. They have the jobs. They have the money to run their businesses, everyday lives. But at the same time, we need to protect our environment. We need to have the clean and safe environment, right? And so this is like a tone between two lovers, like because not only focusing on the man itself, or to develop our countries, but also we need, or in order to give the job securities to these peoples, but also we are pretty much concerned on protecting the clean and safe environment, right? Because we know that flood kills at least many hundreds of peoples at a place. Sometimes it costs thousands of peoples. For instance, in Malaysia, last 2 years, in December 2021, it happens that there are major floods that attacks certain states in Malaysia, and then even our students in IIUM students are very much affected with this big flood. Okay, and then so we need to also consider on how to help them, because some of them they lost almost, I mean, like 80% of the houses, they lost it. I mean, like they cannot even reuse all the things that they already have in especially the electricity stuff, especially for the student, they lost their total loss. Their laptop is total loss, so they cannot use it anymore, right? So they cannot continue with doing their assignments, and it's very difficult for them as well. So we are very much concerned on their their situation. Okay, not only that, then also what else? So okay, so many things here. You can see, okay, the haze, right? Can you see the vehicles or the transportations there? They are producing, they produce the carbon monoxide from this exhaust, from all these what the vehicles, right? So from here, but it could cause air pollution. Okay, and then when we talk about air pollutions, it's not only happen in certain country, but it happen, or is a cause. It is a problem in many countries in the Southeast Asia regions, and Malaysia, Indonesia are one of the worst affected, right? We are affected with this as well. And then, but when we talk about okay, besides these vehicles emissions, gas emissions, or the carbon monoxide, but also it can happen by our farmers. Okay, when they practice the burn practice by the farmers, and then maybe because of the where they have the peat lands, they want to destruct the peat lands, and then they put fire on it, and then there is a forest fire. So these are the man-made disasters that could have been prevented to save our climates, because with this climate change, it brings the attentions to the higher level, like for the governments to set up the policy to save all these environments. Okay, and then as you can see, there is a littering issues. Okay, so this cause a bad for the environment, and it create the pollutions, And then because our target, our mission is to reduce the reduce all the pollutions, or to reduce all the carbon emissions and green house gases. Then because we want to achieve the net zero carbon emissions, right? We want to achieve that. But okay, not only that, but also if you look at the electricity, right? The energy wastage. I mean, like in all the countries, they have big buildings, right? They have big buildings. Like tak payah pergi jauh now. Okay, we don't have to take to look at other places. Just focus on ourselves. Like from IPB University. So you are still big, and then you have the university itself has spent, I believe that has spent substantial amounts of money on the electricity bills, right, to support the university services because of the huge campus. So, but at the same time, we will try to mitigate this energy waste by having maybe perhaps you can have the pilot projects on energy saving. Okay, so this also can help to reduce, to reduce all the to reduce the energy wastage. And for instance, maybe perhaps I believe that in your university also you already have installed the motion sensor device, right? For instance, if you want to go, you don't have to switch on the lights 24 hours, especially in the toilet, because not everyone is going there. But maybe you can install the motion sensor device to reduce the carbon emissions. Okay, at the same time to increase the awareness among the students, the staff. Okay, on this, so these are among the initiatives that we can do. Okay, it looks simpler, but this is but the effect is big. All right, and then not only that, but okay, so for the vehicle movement as well, perhaps we can support by doing pooling. All right, and then maybe we can opt for other types of vehicles that use the renewable gas, for instance. Okay, so these are the among the campaign or initiative that we can do to preserve the earth for the sustainable future. So that is our target, because we're all achieving the green economy or blue economy. So that we supposed to look at ourselves and what we can do to help to achieve in this target. And then, for instance, the countries like Japan, for instance, they have what inculcate healthy walking and cycling culture can at the campus rather than driving vehicles, then they opt for cycling. So it's good because cycling is always better for the planet. But accordingly loud, right? So and then if we walk and we cycle, then it's some kind of exercise that is good for our health too. Okay. And so these environmental challenges is a very serious. I mean, like because many countries their own is way to becoming low carbon nations. Okay, and because the goal is to reach net zero carbon emission, and there are various efforts that have undertaken to acquire the positions of low carbon nation. And then it begins at the highest level of government. So that's why there should be introductions of certain policies, or they have to implement a law or regulations or policy that promotes to the formations of low carbon country. And then not only that, but also the publics or the stakeholders or the people, they also have to commit in cultivating a low carbon way of life. Am I right? And then they also have to decide on that. Okay, then if you look at the next slide, here is on the climate related financial risk. So we know about the climate challenges just now, right? Now we see how this climate relates to the financial risk and impacts both banks and the banking system. So how bank exposed to the climate change? Exposed to the climate change. And then we know that banks and the bank system are exposed to climate change through the macro and microeconomic transmission channel. Okay, and then we know that climate related risks always have significant impacts on the major risk. Okay, and then in this regards, financial institutions or the banking system, they also been targeted on that. Okay, like here, if you look at the financial risk there, okay, for instance, credit risk. How how would you say that these banks or Islamic financial institution or banking institutions exposed or been affected through this climate change? Okay, for instance, there is look at the financial risk, credit risk, market risk, liquidity risk, operational risk, insurance risk. So maybe I can explain on few of them. Let's say for the credit risk. Okay, in times of default, right? Because maybe the customer cannot afford to pay their their financial commitment, and then because they have been were affected by these natural disasters, for instance, right, because of the climate change, and then so this would affect the borrower's ability to repay. Okay, to repay the commitments to the bank, for instance, and then this will affect the bank's what the bank's overall. And then, for instance, for the liquidity risk, if you look at the liquidity risk, so if you know, let's say if there is a big natural disasters or calamities that happens at that specific area, okay, then this would create the sudden increase because people are how to say people are um, because of the panic attack. Okay, so because of the panic attack, then they can always be situations where there is a sudden increase in deposit withdrawal. Okay, they withdraw their money, and then a big chunk of money, right? So this can also affect the banks, and then of course for the insurance or takaful industry also affected because of the claims. Okay, because of the disasters or natural calamities, this may result in significant impacts, negative impacts on the liquidity buffer. Okay, so these are among the issues. And then if you look at the insurance risk there, down there, so I mean like because of the high submissions of claim, okay, this can happen due to an event beyond our control, let's say because of the natural calamities or maybe because of the climate crisis, perils. Okay, so these are the reasons that could cause the high submissions of claim to the takaful operators. So there could be the possibility that there is a deficit in the participant response in the takaful operators because you know, because of unexpected high submissions of claim, right? Because so they have to pay to the policy holders, and then they so this will affect on their portfolio. I mean, like on their participant risk fund, so they will be deficit. So if that happens, then maybe perhaps the operators may extend cards or loan to recover for the deficits. Then this loan should be repaid from the future surplus. And then, for instance, if you still remember early this year, in 2023, early this year in Turkey, you remember when the earthquake attacked the Turkey, one part of in Turkey? So this may disrupt the reinsurance and retail cover system in the country. Okay, so that's why the retail cover operators or the cover operators, they always need to study the risk appetites for the business that they are taken. Okay, so okay, next, now when we talk about the green economy, so these are among the initiatives that Malaysians has made in order to support the green economy in the country. So these are among the agenda. We have the, you know, if you can see here, 12 Malaysian plan. We have every 5 years we have the Malaysian plans. So for 12 Malaysian plans started since 2021 to 2025. So the Malaysian government has set the aspiration to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Okay, so what else should we do? And then in line with this, not only that, but also we also have another agenda on the National Energy Transition Roadmap. Okay, so in line with this, the National Energy Transition Roadmap, or we call it NETR, was introduced in this year to provide the framework for transforming the energy landscape in the country. Okay, so there are two parts in this agenda. The first one, they identify the flagship catalyst projects and all the initiatives by the governments, and the second one, they establish low carbon strategy on how to, you know, to get the low carbon emissions. So they target to reduce these carbon emissions for the energy sector. Okay, so that is for the green economy. Okay, now, but when we talk about the blue economy agenda, there are a few other policies that has been supported by the country. I mean, like in order to achieve this blue economy agenda. So the Malaysian policymakers, they have incorporated the concept of blue economy, okay, in the 12th Malaysian plan. So when they incorporated the ideas of blue economy or green economy, they have the consultations with the relevant ministries, with the relevant organizations to come up with this agenda. So there are various policies that have been initiated as well for the blue economy. Like when we talk about fisheries or aquaculture sectors, okay? So we have the National Agro-Food Policy 2021-2030. So these national agro-food policies, they're focusing more on the fisheries and aquaculture sector in Malaysia. So because why they have this policy is because they want to improve the country food security. So that's why they have this policy. And then not only that, but also we have Malaysian government has launched the NBOS, the National Blue Ocean Strategy, in 2009, long time, okay, long time already. So this to develop and to promote the sustainable growth of the fisheries and agriculture industries. They already have this first. Then they comes up with the national agro-food policy. So this is to protect or to improve the country food security when they talk about the fisheries and aquaculture sector. Okay, not only that, but also we also have the national ecotourism. Okay, so this strategy is for 2016 to 2025, and this focus on the marine. So they want to protect on the certain marine area in Malaysia, and they call it as ecotourism destination. Okay, so this with this they can champion any conservations or managements of marine, and then they can maximize the marine resource. Okay, so in Malaysia, there are several regions where you can, or where the travelers, they can experience a real ecotourism adventure, such as especially in Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, in Sabah and Sarawak, they have a place like Sepilok Orangutan Sanctuary. They have Mulu National Park in Kota Belud, Kinabatangan, and many other places as well. Okay, so they already have this policy to protect the national ecotourism. Okay, then not only that, but also, okay, you can see here Malaysian shipping building or ship repair. This is what. So these are the initiative made by the Malaysian government to, they have implemented several policies and made significant achievement in the shipping sector. So here you can see this is the plan of Malaysian shipbuilding or Malaysian ship repair industry strategic plan to 2020. So this was created to, of course, to improve the developments of the shipbuilding and ship repairing industry. And then this is in hope to push the country towards becoming the high income developed country through this business. All right, and then what I didn't put here is about the marine biotechnology, and then about, because in Malaysia we have established Institute of Marine Biotechnology. So this is to support the marine biotechnology industry, okay, to promote the developments of the renewable ocean energy sector. Okay, so we are exploring the potential of wave and tidal energy to generate electricity, because we have the potential actually. So, but how we move forward to make realize to make it happen, right? And then but for sometimes, if you look at the photo here, you look at the oceans, you look at the there is so much littering here, right? So this is where, actually, but not only in but not only that, but also we have the litter policy and action plan. We have the National Marine Litter Policy and Action Plan. So this is to examine all the activities, like they need, especially in the ocean. Okay, in the ocean, or they call it marine debris or marine littering. So this is to make sure that all the activities that happen in the oceans, they should address the issues of litter. Maybe like if there is any oil wastage or littering in the oceans, then surely they will be caught, and then there is a serious punishments that they need to face. Okay, so that's why we have National Marine Litter Policy Action Plan. Okay, so that is among the policies or initiative that we have in the country. All right, now, okay, go back to the focus discussions. So now we are going towards a greener or bluer Islamic financial institutions, because we are talking about the green economics and blue economics, right? So what's some related policies toward greener or bluer Islamic financial institution in Malaysia? Okay, so as you can see here, um with regards to move to greener or blue Islamic financial institution, we have um policies, okay, to achieve this. So what are the policies in achieving this? So you can see here, from Bank Negara Malaysia, our regulator, Central Bank of Malaysia, we have initiated the value-based intermediation (VBI) in 2018 on the strengthening the rules and impact of Islamic finance. Okay, then we also have in 2019 we have the VBI financing and investment impact assessment framework. So we have the framework, all right, and then and then we also have financial sector blueprint. Okay, so here let's look at the financial sector blueprint 2022 2020 to 2026. Okay, so the question is here, so how would we strategize? Okay, so when we talk about the value, so this is in the, because we have these policies or okay by the regulator, like the latest one is financial sector blueprint 2022 to 2026. So here they talks on the positions of financial system to facilitate a transition to be a greener economy. Okay, so they have talked about the transmissions of the climate risk to the economy and financial system. So they have the blueprints that talk about it, that discuss on this. All right, so now let's focus on the VBI, because they're talking about VBI, right? So when we talk about VBI, we already have the CSR before, right? So what are the difference between the VBI and CSR? Do you want to give any inputs on this? Everything, we have a difference. Okay, so what do you think? What is the difference? So this is very simple understanding. What is the difference between the VBI and perhaps the CSR? So actually for CSR, is more comments on the philanthropy basis, right? This is separated from the business activities. But for when we talk about the VBI, is integrated within the business activities. Okay, so but how would this VBI or value-based information benefit the financial institution? Okay, because we have the policies already, but how would this VBI benefits the financial institutions? So because all banks, they are very committed. They are committed and devoted themselves to contribute to the real economy. So they can they will expand the access to other branches, and then at the same time they will enable the social finance, and then empowering the entrepreneur, and then not only that, but also this banks, they will support the greener future through their responsible investment, right? Where they supposed to consider the ESG, the environment, social and governance, and then so how would this VBI benefits financial institution? Okay, so if you look at the diagram here, these are the examples on how VBI would benefit the financial institution. Okay, for instance, what I can say is that some develop and like some certain banks, they have developed certain products or services for the social finance, okay, including like if you look at the Bank Islam here, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, they have comes up with affordable housing developments. Okay, so they have like house financing for wakaf development. So this give the impact. I mean, like this are the way on how they could create new market opportunity through the innovations that they have, innovation financial solutions that not only covering those who are affordable, but also to address those who are underserved segments. Okay, and then not only that, but also we have the, some of the bank, they have personal financing for this zakat asnaf, because these vulnerable groups of peoples, or maybe we can call it like in Malaysia we call it B40, or this underserved segments, right? So, or this they are entitled for the asnaf. So this asnaf, or these vulnerable groups of peoples, they some banks, they have the personal financing for them. Okay, because it's very difficult for people to get the personal financing because of the credit records, right? But for this asnaf, they have a special, they have made a special arrangement or special products to cater this group of people. So this is where they, all the activities or the market opportunity that they have, they will make sure that all the business activities or whatever products or services delivers to the wider scope, okay, of people. I mean, like they give impacts to the wider stakeholders. Right, and then for instance here in the agro banks, for the agro banks, you can see they have program Rakan Ladang Bernas. So what does it mean? It is to improve the productivity of paddy business. I mean, so this is for the farmers. Okay, so the agro bank will provide working capital to the farmers to work on the paddy fields, and then Bernas will provide the free technical consultation to guide them along, to empower them, so that they will be a great entrepreneur. Okay, and then their success story will inspire others, and then become more financial stable, or has the financial freedoms. All right. So, and then, so these are the way on how the VBI benefits measure. So actually, there are many other examples that we can look at on how they do it. Okay. And then because we understand that, when we talk in general, when we talk about the Islamic finance industry, they should establish robust ecosystem, right? Which environmentally sustainable, because Islam always emphasize on the importance of environment preservations. Okay, and then like there's one hadith, Rasulullah SAW used to say that if a Muslim, they plant a tree or sow seed, then if there is a bird or person or animals that eats from it, then it is regarded as sadaqah, right? So they will be rewarded by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So I mean, like, so this will be also for the Islamic financial institutions, they have bigger bigger scope. I mean, like they have a bigger aims, okay, to support this greener future, okay. And then with all the activities or businesses or services or the products they have in the market, so they work to it. All right, and then not only that, but also you see how does this VBI enable environments for Islamic banking institutions to adopt the VBI? So I mean, like, how do we get there? How do we get there? Right. So if you look at these are the strategies aimed to create enabling environment for the Islamic banking institution to adopt VBI. Okay. So here there is a four key strategies to create enabling environment for this VBI implementation. Okay, so from there you can see there's a nurturing potential champion. What does it mean? It means like, how they can get there. So I mean, like they can implement the initiative. I mean, like any initiative that they had, they can be driven or championed by the industry players okay, based on their level of maturity. I mean, like their willingness, their capacity of the institution, because everyone's they want to champion something, right? They want to champion a VBI, okay, they want to champion ESG in their investment, or they want to champion the SRI. So they are driven by this target. And then so the regulator will nurture potential champions or the leaders to showcase success stories, and then it will be followed suit by the other members, well, by the others Islamic banks, for instance, okay, Islamic banking institutions. So and then not only that, but also as part of their, because they have the annual business plan, right? So and then these Islamic banking institutions, they are expected to indicate who are their respective um, partnership. I mean, like, what are their commitment, okay, to achieve that, and then how about the timeline in advancing towards this initiative. Okay, so this is banking institutions. They have to enhance disclosure on their commitment, okay, on their target, on their strategies, on their plans, okay, towards that. Then, if you look at the strategic networking, I mean, like the banks, of course, they should have the collaborators. They should have the strategic networking. They should have the partnership. Okay, they should collaborate with other stakeholders to implement the target. Okay, I mean, like, so this is where they can shape the right behavior of the industry player in expediting the initiative. Okay, so what are the initiative? Whether they want to focus on the social finance to promote it to the vulnerable groups, or to to those who but these vulnerable groups, or the one that we call it B40, or the one that needs a support from most of us, right? So what are the the targets, or what are their strategic on this? Okay.
Excuse me, there must be,
Yes.
right, you can continue, ma'am.
Oh, okay, sorry. So, and then last but not least, you look at the performance measurement. So, with this Islamic banking institutions, they will create significant positive, right? And when they have the target, then they will create significant positive and sustainable impact if if they focuses on what they have started. I mean, like they have their scorecards on whether they achieve it or not, right? Okay, so that is for the Islamic financial institutions. Now, let's look on how we go towards greener or blue Islamic financial institutions on takaful. Okay, on takaful. So for the takaful, there are some related policies toward the greener or blue takaful in Malaysia, like also because we are talking about the VBI just now. So now we have the VBIT for takaful, value-based intimidations for takaful framework. Okay. So what is this? So what is the value-based intimidation for takaful framework? What does it do? I mean, like, so in this value-based intimidations for takaful framework, VBIT, they provides guidance for the takaful operators or for the re-takaful operators to apply VBI principle and VBI values in the takaful business. Okay. For instance, because normally those who or the policyholder who subscribes to takaful products, they are the one that they have the capability in terms of financial capable, right? I mean, like, but not covering those who are vulnerable groups, or those who are underprivileged, or the B40, because B40 still can manage, but those who are vulnerable or underprivileged, so these are the people that we need to provide protection for them as well. So I mean, like, so this VBIT also, um, I mean, like, they need to make sure that when we talk about takaful, the protections, right? So how that they protect most of the peoples, because not all of them can manage or can have the ability to do the monthly contributions to pay for the to subscribe to these takaful products, right? So this the way how they they look around, and then they were thinking about the how about the macro takaful? What about if they offer this macro takaful? So micro takaful is basically to protect the underprivileged peoples, or a vulnerable group of peoples at at an affordable rate. Okay, very affordable rate, so that they can as well experience on the protections by the coverage. Okay, so that in Malaysia we have Pro BSN Micro Takaful Jariah. It comes from the regulator. You know, some of the fund we get the government seed funds, and then some of that from the Takaful operators. Okay, so and then so this is how they make it possible. All right. So, for instance, when we talk about the micro takaful, we have the Pro BSN micro takaful Jariah. We also have for the Asnaf, takaful scheme. Okay, so meaning that they have the affordable rate. The rate is much cheaper as compared to the normal takaful rate for ordinary people. Okay, and then we also have the Perlindungan Tenang, we have My Salam, and then for FWD they have FWD Kasih, and then Etika they have Prisma Etika. So this is to cover for this group of people. Okay. Okay, so before we go to the takaful industry, on how it address the green issues, we need to remember that like any other industries, okay, the financial industry especially, they have concerns on the environment and green, they have concerns on the environment and green issues. Okay, like I mean, like they are on their way to adopt sustainable practices like ESG, environment and social governance, and then also social responsibility investment as parts of their CSR, corporate social responsibility, right? So one of the key ways that this financial institution has incorporated the green agenda in their corporate strategies. So Takaful operators as well are doing that. Takaful industry also are doing that. Okay, I mean like Takaful industry, they also incorporated ethical and environmental conscious. Okay, as part of the CSR. But how? Okay, how? Because when we talk about the climate change just now, right? And then the climate challenges that we are facing. So so how does this takaful address the green issue when we want to talk about, is there any policy towards the greener bluer takaful in Malaysia, for instance, right? So when we talk about the takaful, we need to understand that and Takaful, they have two things, okay, with them. I mean, like the first one is about the underwriting. Okay, Takaful industry is about the underwriting, and then the second one is through their investment. So so how they support in terms of becoming a greener takaful in Malaysia. So I mean like what I mean like how they respond to this climate change. Now when we talk about the underwriting, okay, so underwriting, okay, some of the natural disasters, right, happen because of the man-made destruction. So now what takaful operators they can do, or takaful industry they can do, is that they comes up with a policy to support them, to support those who are in need. All right. So I mean like for instance in the case of flood, so if there is a flash flood, okay, and then destructs the vehicles, let's say, right, and then total loss. So how would this takaful insurance company comes into picture to help them? So because we know that in most cases people, they only realize the importance of insurance coverage or takaful coverage after they have experienced the traumatic event, right? And then before that they don't even subscribe to the insurance, flood insurance or flood takaful coverage. But only when it happened to them, only after they experience these traumatic events, then only they realize that, oh, this is very important for us to subscribe. So this is where the takaful um, operators, they can come up with this products. Okay, and then this is to support the catastrophic issues, like catastrophic issues, and so that these policy holders or those who subscribes to this takaful flood products, maybe they will get some relief from the compensation, okay, payable to them in respect to the loss or any damage that caused by the flood that happened to them. Okay, and then not only that, but also if you look at the okay, see, all right, see here. So if you look at the agriculture sector, like for the livestock breeders. Can so for these agriculture sectors, do we have agriculture takaful or coverage? Do we have agriculture protections for them? I mean, like last time in Malaysia, we don't specifically have this specific agriculture insurance. So that's why when there is a natural disasters or calamities happened to these farmers, okay, and then or maybe to these livestock breeders because of the big flood, or maybe because of the these natural calamities that is beyond our control. So that's why the government has allocated, I think, 80 million ringgit to support them. Okay, so this fund is to use to help them to ease their burdens for those who are facing with the crop damages, okay, or maybe livestock, uh, they lost their livestock, okay, due to the natural disasters, and then they need the support because how they are going to survive. Not only that, they don't have uh, what the source of living anymore, but also they're also affected, right? So who will protect them? So and because before this, there in Malaysia there is no agricultural insurance, so now they comes up with the agricultural insurance. This is to be offered to the farmers, to the breeders, okay, to the fishermen, to to ensure the survival of the industry players, for them, for these livestock breeders, for these farmers, for these fishermen. Okay, so that the fund that they have, or the compositions that they got, but if calamities happen or natural disasters happen that affecting their agriculture business, then they will also be protected. Okay, let's for instance in Mongolia, they have Mongolia livestock insurance. Okay, so this is where the World Bank Group, okay, has played major role. The World Bank Group, they has played a major role in the disaster risk management by helping the climate risk-based insurance policies. Okay, like for instance in Mongolia, they have Mongolia livestock insurance, and then if it's because of the bad weather, okay, they have weather-based insurance scheme for the countries that has been exposed to the climate and weather-based risk. Okay, and then and so this is the way on how that we can move forward lah, okay, to support the green the green economy, the green industry or the blue industry, right? Because we are also protecting the fishermen, we're also protecting the livestock breeders, the farmers. So these are the one who will support, who will ensure that the sustainability of the green area or the blue area is sustained. So we need to first support and protect them. Okay, and then okay, so that is on the underwriting. Okay, so but when we talk about the investment, so because Takaful industry, they also about the investment, right? That's why we have the participant investment fund. So for the investment, perhaps these Takaful companies or Takaful operators, okay, they can comes up by helping to strategize on their investment in investing in green projects. Okay, so this is in line with the Takaful operators agenda to address green issues. Okay, so that I mean like the Takaful operators, they can channel their participant investment fund in the green technology industry, for instance, so they can to finance the businesses that working on finding innovative solution to improve energy efficiency. Okay, so this is how they can do it, and also this can also be fulfilled when the government operators they also think about for the investment what they achieve, they follow the social responsibility investments mandate. Okay, and not only for the Takaful operators, and then as we have mentioned on the World Bank Group, they have comes up with the policies to help those livestock breeders in Mongolia. Okay, then not only that, but also for the UN, the United Nations, they have they have comes up with you know with the ideas or strategy on how to move forward to the green economies. And then the International Finance Corporation, the IFC. Okay, so they also been playing important role in managing the climate change imposed risk. I mean, like they are the one who developed the index-based weather insurance. Okay, so this is for the developing countries in Africa. So this index-based weather insurance, they call it as Global Index Insurance Facility. So this innovative insurance is currently active in the working countries like Kenya, in Rwanda, in the African country, Kenya, Rwanda, Mali, Burkina Faso, then also Mozambique. Okay, Mozambique, Burkina Faso, Mali, Rwanda, Kenya. So these countries in the Africa, the international finance corporations, they have comes up or develop index-based weather insurance for them. Okay, and then so these products give farmers the access or the insurance or the protections against natural disasters and then against weather risk. Okay, so this is good initiative. And then so perhaps for the takaful operators or they can also combat the risk posed by the environment, climate change, by providing protections to the larger scope of peoples, okay, not only to the normal policy holders, but also to support the agriculture business. So they are also protecting the farmers, the livestock breeders, the fishermen, right, to support this kind of business. Okay, all right. Okay, then we finish for the Islamic financial institutions and takaful industry. Now the other segments, because for the Islamic finance, the segments of Islamic financial system, we have Islamic banking, Islamic financial institutions, we have takaful, we also have Islamic capital markets, right? So for the Islamic capital markets, from the Securities Commissions and the regulator as well, we have in 2017, they have comes up with the guidelines on sustainable and responsible investment (SRI) funds, then promoting the Islamic fund and wealth management blueprint. Okay, since 2017, then 2 years after that, in 2019, they have their own framework for the SRI Sukuk or the Sustainable and Responsible Investment Sukuk framework. Then they also have in 2020, they have Wakaf Featured Fund framework. Okay, so for the Wakaf Featured Fund framework, there is a framework that has been established by the Securities Commission Malaysia on that, and then in 2021 they have the Capital Market Master Plan, sorry. And then so when we talk about this let's say for Wakaf Featured Fund framework, right? So when we talk about Wakaf, I mean like economic instruments lah. When we talk about economic instruments, not only Wakaf, okay, but foreign seller Wakaf, okay. They can also be utilized to support the low carbon mission. Okay, I mean like for Wakaf itself, it can be one of the Islamic economic instruments that could be utilized to help countries become a low carbon nation, because every country that are targeting to have the net zero carbon emissions nation. Okay, so because we know that Wakaf is a philanthropic instrument, it promotes goods, right, and then has the potential to benefit the entire community. And then when we go back to the history on Wakaf, during the time of Prophet ﷺ or before that, okay, and then Ibrahim ﷺ used to donated his 7 dates garden in Medina, and then Umar bin Al-Khattab also have Wakaf his land in Khaybar for agricultural purposes. So actually these green areas has been there before us, but okay, to support these agricultural purposes, also Umar al-Khattab has Wakaf his land in Khaybar, And then so this harvest from this from this farm was given to the needy, the beneficiaries, to enjoy this the harvest from this land in the Khabar. Is a farmland, right? And then Osman bin Affan also has purchased the Bir al-Rumah, okay, which is like a well, um, um, originally owned by the Jews, but he bought it or he purchased it during the time of drought time, and then do wakaf on that. Okay, so I mean, like, there are several wakaf fund for the environmental conversations have been initiated by many countries. Then, for instance, in Malaysia, we have with the collaboration with the Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Environment and Water, or Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. Okay, they has established the Wakaf Water Endowment Fund. They have established this Wakaf Endowment Fund in collaboration with Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia. So this is to finance the small-scale water service projects. Then we also have the Wakaf Green Mosque Endowment, okay, to support the mosque development project to utilize the green technology throughout Malaysia. And not only that, when we talk about wakaf, right? Okay, let's talk about the wakaf. Let's say for the sukuk wakaf. Okay, so there is a social project in New Zealand, if you remember, that initiated by ISRA. So ISRA has launched a social project in New Zealand based on sukuk wakaf. So this is co-jointly by Awqaf New Zealand, and then ISRA itself, and then Securities Commission Malaysia. So the goal is to issue the world first wakaf sukuk. Okay, then the proceed from the sukuk will be utilized, okay, will be utilized to establish farming industry in the New Zealand as well as in Canada. So with these farms, there is also the activity of korban activity or slaughtering activities, right? So this will be provided for Muslim, particularly in the West area. And then from this korban, there's a waste of the animal skin, right? And so this will be used to produce shoes and bags, etc. And then if there is a revenue, this revenue will be used for charitable and social purposes all over the world. And then, of course, in Indonesia, there are many activities. There are many, I mean, like Indonesia has implemented sukuk wakaf to develop your social property assets to be commercially self-sustaining. So it's a good initiative. Alhamdulillah. And then, not only that, but also, with this wakaf, with this sukuk, how they refinance or how they redevelop the wakaf properties. And like, for instance, in Singapore, they have the sukuk issuance conducted by the Majlis Ugama Islam Singapore. So this is, if you look at the nature of the operation, this is to to support the wakaf properties, and then the proceeds they use to do any good to be used for the charitable and social purpose as well. And then at the same time, they maintains the wakaf properties, right? So there are many other case study, like for instance, in Indonesia, you have many. For the green wakaf case study, you have like wakaf forest by Yayasan Hutan Wakaf Bogor, right? And then you also have the Berbagi Listrik in Nusantara Foundation. Then you have Green Korban as well, and then Wakaf Integrated Farm by Synergy Foundation. Then you have Modern Shrimp Farming Pond by the Green Wakaf, the Majlis Ugama Islam. Then in Pakistan, they also have this Green Wakaf initiative. So I mean, like all over the Muslim countries, they already have started with this Green Wakaf. So and then not only that, but also when we talk about Wakaf, they also can help to shift to the renewable energy. I mean, like with the wakaf fund, maybe perhaps they can acquire solar panel to generate electricity. Okay, but the wakaf funds, okay, might be established to promote the renewable energy research and development, because research R&D activities are expensive. So perhaps from the proceed, they can also support the renewable energy research and development, so that we can fully utilize all the renewable energy to support towards the green economy and the blue economies. Okay, so actually, if you look closely, we don't have to talk about bigger things. I mean, like we ourselves, right? From the sometimes the housewife, okay, they can plant various plant in their yards, and then they can also raise fish, okay, by using the plastic bucket. Okay, so these are I mean, like they can make full use of the vacant land that they have in their yards to support in the greener worlds or the bluer world, right? And then everyone has the responsibility to support this agenda. And then I believe that there are many other things that so when we talk about the social finance, not only wakaf but also zakat, for instance, the money has been utilized to support this towards the green world or green policy, and then policy, I mean, like blue economics and green economics, right? I mean, like because they are in support to the fishermen, to this asnaf who has the potential to empower themselves, right? So they will provide all the skill, all the trainings, all the skills, and sufficient amounts of money to run their business, and then eventually will become one of the musaki, okay, because they already these zakat authorities or already empowered them. So actually there are many um other example. Actually it has become up the examples on how we can support this green and blue economy. All right, thank you. I think this is it from me. Okay, I pass back to our brother MC Zuhilmi. Is it Zuhilmi? Zufadli, I'm so sorry.
Yes. All right. All right, ma'am. Thank you very much, Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi. What we have taught about ethics and governance of Islamic financial institutions towards green or blue economy has been very enlightening and insightful for all of us. But before we continue, I would like to inform you about that this activity is sponsored by, the first one is Basnas Republic of Indonesia, pilihan pertama pembayar zakat, lembaga utama mensejahterakan umat. And then the next one is PT Prudential Sharia Life Assurance, your best choice of Sharia insurance worldwide. And the last one is PT Antam TBK, logam mulia Antam akurat kadarnya. Okay, so now let's continue the question and answer session. All right, then we have the first questioner here. So, Mr. Jajang, would you like to introduce yourself and then where you come from and then ask your question right away?
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Jajang and I am from STICB, Depok, Indonesia. Okay, so thank you so much for the speaker, Dr. Nur Farhah, that has already explained about the blue and also green economy. So from the explanation, I noticed that in Malaysia, the governance has a blue and green economy agenda, the framework and the strategy. So my questions is there any certain strategy to educate the investors, the stakeholders, so that they aware and also they have good understanding about the concept of green economy and the blue economy itself? And the second one, regarding the value-based intermediation, is that a new strategy that just applied in Malaysia, or it is already applied in other countries as well? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jajang. Come on, ma'am.
All right, thank you
It's your
so
turn.
much, Mr. Jaja. And then with regards to the questions, the first one is there any strategy to promote on the concept of the blue and green strategy, right? So I believe that all the policymakers, all the governments, they have these initiatives. That's why they have come up with the policies, and not only in Malaysia but also in Indonesia. Actually, for the blue blue economy, I think just recently in September that you have comes up with this blue economics. I mean, like you have placed blue economies at the with the strategic planning partnering with the United Nations. I think you have launched the National Blue Agenda Actions Partnership. Yeah, I think it's this recently in September. So I believe that all the countries, and then not only Indonesia and other regions, South Asian regions, they the policymakers and the governments, the regulators, they have come up with all the strategies and plans and on policies to make sure that everyone is aware, fully aware, especially focusing on the stakeholders, the big stakeholders, so that they are the one who implement and they are the one who can run or initiate all the activities to support the blue and green, so that this is not only on the certain level of people or on the certain group of companies, but also it will towards the end eventually it will incorporated all segments of people to enjoy or to really support this green and blue economy. All right, thank you. That's for the first questions. And the second questions on VBI. VBI actually has been there since 2017, 2018, and then all these Islamic banking sectors, especially they try their best to be the champions on the VBIs. But in Malaysia, we have the Islamic banks, Bank Islam, who champion these VBIs, and then there are other activities, and there are a lot more of activities that has been implemented to support this VBI. And then for other countries, I'm not sure on this VBI, but I believe that this is like general understandings, and then they also have comes up with the same, or if it's not the same, but the similar ideas on this VBI. Thank you, Mr. Jajang.
All right, Mr. Jajam, the explanation answer your question.
Yes, yes, it is. Thank you so much. I have so much to learn.
All right.
Thank you.
All right then. All right then, participants, do you have any question again? More question and more learn. Any question? If no, I would like to ask to you, ma'am. Can
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
sure.
My question is about the obstacles. Does any obstacles on implementing the good ethics and good governance of Islamic financial institution towards this green or blue economy in Malaysia?
So the challenges, right? So when we talk about the obstacles, the constraints, and the challenges in realizing or materializing the green economy and blue economies, actually there are always a challenges anywhere. I mean, like, but in terms of like I was saying about when we want to talk about the green economy, but at the same time we want to have profits. We want to to create to have a better economics, right, in the certain place. So we want to cater to, we want economic on the other sides, and then we also want the environment on the other sides. I mean, like, we want to protect the safe and steady environment, but at the same time you want to create more jobs. In order to create more jobs, let's say you can create a factory. So with one factory you can create thousands of jobs to the people at that specific area. But this factory, sometimes they are not following the specifics that has been, but of course there are challenges in achieving, even though we have so many policies, even though we have some recommendations, we have set our own guidelines, right? But there is always obstacles that perhaps that's why the government is taking serious actions on those who ignore or try to not destruct, because actually this is like a thorn between two loves. So I mean, like, there's always a possibility, but there is always obstacles and always room of improvement in the future, inshallah.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for the great answer. So, any question from all the participants? Hello, guys. Do you have any question? All right, if no more question, thank you for all the answers, ma'am. All the answers are very, very amazing. And I think that all the answers for question and answer session today is come to an end. So before we come to the next agenda, we would like to inform you all that this activity is sponsored by, the first one is Basnas Republic of Indonesia, pilihan pertama pembayar zakat, lembaga utama mensejahterakan umat. The next one is PT Prudential Sharia Life Assurance, your best choice of Sharia insurance worldwide. And then the next one is PT Antam Tbk, logam mulia Antam, akurat kadarnya. All right, ma'am. I would like to ask you to stay on your screen as we have a small token of our appreciation just for you. Please accept it with our sincere thanks. It looks like there is a problem. We're gonna wait for a second, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
Nah, there you go. This is the certificate.
MashaAllah.
This is just for you.
MashaAllah.
Okay. Before we close this session, ma'am, is there anything else you would like to say or about the assignment, maybe the quiz, or maybe a closing statement?
Okay. So thank you once again to our respected Brother Fadli Zulkifli, our lovely MC for today's discussions. And then I seek forgiveness for all the shortcomings coming from me. And then I also would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to IPB University as well as all the sponsors that makes this Islamic Economics Winter Course 2023 happened. And then once again, for the post-test and pre-test, actually I'm having issues actually yesterday. My session was supposed to be yesterday, but because I'm having issue with to retrieve my emails, and then I cannot get my slides, and that's why if you look at the pre-test and post-test, maybe but actually it's a general ideas, and then just read carefully, and then I wish you all the best on your pre-test and post-test. But if you have any further questions later on, maybe perhaps when you learn on some things and then you were thinking about, oh, how can I relate these ideas with the green economies or blue economies, maybe perhaps you can just WhatsApp me, or sorry, maybe you can just email me, and then perhaps if I can help you with some inputs, maybe I will do that. And then for the assignment, right? For the assignment, it's a very short one actually. It's not that hard. So it's on the green finance and blue finance. So there are two questions. This can be group assignment. I mean, like you can pick at least 3 friends, or I think 3 is okay, right? Brothers, Fadli, 3 is okay. Fadli, I think 3 is okay, right? So you can
Yes,
pick
it's
three
okay.
three of you, and then you can discuss on the first highlight fiqh rulings and Islamic legal principles on the green and the blue finance, which support the sustainable environmental financial practices. Then the second one is on the how the takaful protects the investment in Islamic greens and blue finance and promoting stability in the country industry. So it shouldn't be that lengthy. I mean, like if you want to put it in the point form, I would accept that as well. Point form, as long as give us some examples and then give it doesn't have to be lengthy, but put some points and then together with the examples and then further explanation, but not too much. I think it's okay.
All right, ma'am. We will attach the question to the post-test. Will be held soon. So, thank you very much, ma'am. Next agenda, we are going to have a photo together. So please open all of your camera, and then I will allow the operator to take a screenshot, and I will count from 1 to 3. Maybe I will give you time for about 2 minutes to prepare to on your camera, to put your cameras on. Right. Good then. Some of you already put your cameras on. Yes. We're going to take photo at 5:02. Wait. Wait a second. Right, it's already 5:02, so we're gonna take a photo together. So please stand on your camera, where I'm gonna count from 1 to 3 for slide 1. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Right, next slide, right? Next slide. 1, 2, 3. All right, next slide again. 1, 2, 3. How much the slide? All right then. So, yes, thank you very much. All right, then we already take a photo together. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's lecture of our event has come to an end. We would like to express our gratitude to our lecturer today, Dr. Nur Farhah Mahadi, who has shared her valuable time, knowledge, and wisdom in today's lecture. We would also like to express our gratitude to all of the participants who have attended all lectures today until the end. May Allah bless us all of our activities today. Also, we would like to ask your forgiveness as you may have felt any inconveniences throughout the session. And we would like to inform you all again that this activity is sponsored by Basnas Republik of Indonesia, pilihan pertama pembayar zakat, lembaga utama mensejahterakan umat. And also PT Prudential Sharia Life Assurance, your best choice of Sharia insurance worldwide. And then PT Antam Tbk, logam mulia, antam akurat kadarnya. Next, we would like to remind you to prove your attendance by filling the absence on the link below. Right, we will give you for about 2 minutes, right? We will give you for about 2 minutes to fill the absence as your proof of your attendance until 5:05. There you go, the link. I think there is some problem, right? Resend the link. All right, then I will report that to the operator. Right, we're already reporting that. All right, then about the link attendance, there were clarification and then next information from your liaison officer after this. So before we close, we would like to remind all of the participants that there will be no lecture after this session, but tomorrow agenda we will start at the same time as today at 4 o'clock in the evening, Western Indonesia time. Tomorrow, we are going to listen to Professor Dr. Raditya Sukmana from Erlangga University, Indonesia, who will deliver integration of Bakah into green or blue financing framework, and also Professor Dr. Baharam Abdul Hamid from International Center for Education in Islamic Finance, Malaysia, that talks about development of Islamic social finance and green or blue financing instruments or product. We would also like to remind all of the participants about the assignments, pre-test, and also post-test. Please kindly check your account at the website ocw.ipb.ac.id using your username and password. Wallahu alam bisawab. Let's close our agenda today by saying hamdalah and also dua kifaratul majalis. All right then, see you in the next lecture. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Through providing various benefit by being a zakat management institution in Indonesia, Badan Amil Zakat Nasional Basnas is here to invigorate the Love Zakat movement. Formed by the government based on the decree of the President of the Republic of Indonesia number 8 of 2001, which has the task and function of collecting and distributing zakat, infak, and sodako at the national level, Basnas is spread throughout Indonesia and coordinates provincial Basnas, Regency and city level Basnas, Amil Zakat institution, and zakat collecting units in various institutions, as well as international zakat institutions. By bringing the spirit to become the leading institutions to enhance the welfare of the Ummah, Basnas has received various awards as a form of public trust as an accountable institution, including ISO 9001-2015 certified, audited with unqualified audit opinion since 2002. The award of intensity, consistency, and innovation in the response of COVID-19 from BNPB. The Championship Award in Capacity Building and Leadership Award in Community Development and Philanthropy from Global Good Governance Award in 2022. Best Business Transformation and Best Indonesia Customer Quality from SWA. By maintaining the spirit of zakat management based on Islamic law, trustworthiness, expediency, justice, legal certainty, integration, and accountability, Badan Amil Zakat Nasional distributes and utilizes according to the Sharia to aid Asnaf, and it's summarized into 5 main sectors. Humanity, education, health, dakwah, and economy. By continuing to facilitate sharing access for all people, Basnas provides various payment channels through the counters, mini markets, transfer services, up to dozens of channels and digital wallets, as well as PayPal. Basnas continues to expand the benefit of various productive and effective programs that are based on the principles of safe Sharia, safe regulation, and safe for the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia. Together with Basnas, create a just and a prosperous society all around Indonesia. Basnas, the leading institution to enhance the welfare of the Ummah.